We're live.
Right on.
All right, we're live, and I've got my Colombia cup with my hot water. Although I had coffee with Mitch yesterday,
Okay.
old guy carnivore. He's old as the hills. You know, I'm like a spring chicken. I realized when I met our good guy Mitch, and today we have Nicholas Roy on sharing his re-inspiration life.
Right on. Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. And we're here in Sarasota for the Healing Humanity and Kilts Health extravaganza. We have a barbecue at the Kilts' Sarasota Bay House, and we're going to have 50, 60 people connecting and gathering, and then Saturday morning, 8 to 11, and there's still spots available in Tampa for the mighty meetup to come and learn from the top experts of keto carnivore, Dr. Boz, Ovadia, Lisa Wiedemann, Bella. Let's see, Mitch is going to be there, old guy carnivore, bring your brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends and enemies alike, because we want to inspire each other to improve their mighty life. And then Texas to Brazil, noon to 2-ish. And if you just make a reservation
No, I need to say something. I need to say something. So I talked to the general manager yesterday. I went to Texas de Brazil, and we rearranged all the seats. We can fit 100 inside of the restaurant, the half that we have, and we can fit 80 on the patio. So I made the link available. We can have 180 people there. They've been freaking out, but we can have 180 people there. I wish I knew this from the start. So the link works. It says sold out on the website, but just click it. It still works.
Okay.
So you can get your tickets.
So we want to inspire people to come and learn what is this crazy carnivore world. And like, I've been doing it almost 15 years. I'm almost 70. I'm almost as old as the hills, like our good friend Mitch. But we got young guy Nicholas Roy here, a paramedic, but a carnivore master. And welcome, Nicholas. Thank you for coming, showing up. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure thing. I'd love to. So yeah, a paramedic. I've been about 10 years in the business. Re-inspired into something else now. So it's been transitioning into a new avenue, but emergency medicine has been the bread and butter. Enjoyed it. But yeah, it's now carnivore. But I guess a backstory towards all this is I lived a pretty healthy life before, the plants, the fruits. I had a really... Well, I mean, I say it like that because it was. I mean, my mom was great. She was able to help me out in getting, the nutrition, the berries, the fruits, the good stuff, and the whole meals. And then, just later in my 30s, had kids, and I just couldn't chase them anymore. I know, so it sounds silly, but I couldn't walk, or chase them 5 minutes or five feet and be out of breath. So I was re-inspired to be like, okay, well, I'm tired of feeling like, can I say crap in the adult language, but they're feeling like shit, so I was done. And I just, how could I say is I was like, okay, well, if I eliminate the things that make me feel like shit, then maybe I can start feeling better. And I started with dairy. So from the dairy, just eliminating that, and I ended up where I am at the carnivore diet. Because I was severely lactose intolerant, had IBS symptoms, stress at work, but I mean, the rest of the autoimmune issues, I had arthritis. Just going down the list of pretty much nothing special like everyone else in the carnivore industry or a carnivore way. It's just like, I'm tired of feeling like this, or can I be re-inspired to feel better? So yeah, here I am. And just been carnivore now for about 13 months. But again, I ended up here. I eliminated the dairy first, the fruits, the veg, the things that made my guts just kind of roll.
The healthy things.
Well, that's it. The things we're told to eat, right? And it's tough when you're eat the quinoa. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll cut this out, cut that out, and then I'll reintroduce the quinoa. And then it would just rot my guts. And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's not good for me. But again, you read the literature, it's saying it's got these amino acids, it's got, the potential of this, the that. Okay, cool. But take it one step at a time and just, see how my body feels. And just, N of one experiment, basically.
How young are you now?
I appreciate the compliment. I'm 38.
38 years young, and what are the diseases you think you've been living with?
I had never diagnosed, but I had IBS like symptoms. So like I'd drink dairy and I would have, or eat dairy and I would have terrible indigestion and bowel movements, like almost instantly. And then I had psoriasis, that's for sure. Arthritis, and then if I add in, oh crap, now I'm a blank, but yeah, I mean, countless autoimmune issues, but then even the stress. I mean, with the highs and lows of carbs, I felt like that was a big thing too, compared to being on a fat-free or fat diet, fat-adapted diet, and ketogenic. Basically, I feel so much better on ketones, burning ketones, than I do on glucose. Basically, not glucose, but the standard American diet.
Frying your brains with broccoli.
Right.
And how has your family, friends, colleagues, and others sort of reacted to your brain disorder?
Well, exactly, and I call it temporary because it's tough because it comes in waves, but at the same time, like I guess the stress of it, I'd be so stressed giving a report to nurses or something like that. But at the end of the day, like I knew I had something to get done. It was a job, and then get through it. But then I was like, I'm still not feeling good. And now, doing the carnivore diet, I feel like at least a lot more alert, a lot more calm, able to focus. And yeah, just better in general. That's pretty much it.
How do we when he's a recruit, that's not it. Reach Papa Pierre. We need to reach more young people who are struggling with their physical and or mental health, and would who would benefit greatly by adopting a carnivore lifestyle. And I think this is what we're all doing is we're being the examples. We're not trying to shake them into submission. We're trying to inspire them into ignition.
Exactly. And I mean, it's tough. Like you said about like the mental here family, but it's not an easy road. Like when I started this, it was, okay, Nick, you're doing this by yourself. There's not much, there's support, but it's kind of like, well, what are you doing? You're only eating meat, man. Like, are you sure? You might die from a heart attack. And I'm like, well, I might, but how I was feeling, waking up, I would wake up groggy. My eyes would feel like pre-diabetic symptoms. That was another one. So like I was hypertensive. My eyes were like, they felt inflamed. I know that doesn't make much sense, but they just hurt in the morning. I was groggy. I would constant urination, dry mouth, dry lips. So it's just like, okay. And then I couldn't chase my kids. I'd be out of breath, out of energy, and I'd be stressed. And it's like, okay, well, how do I feel better? And like I said, I grew up with a mom that gave me a great diet, felt good. I even went to an all green raw food diet. That was the worst I ever felt.
You went to the plant predator diet.
Oh, it was raw. And I mean, it was constant eating and grains and okay. But then I felt so just non-balanced, more high on food. I was going through like, I guess, fasting and then having a bunch of sugar from, well, some fats. Like I guess I had avocados, but
avocado's a fruit.
Well, there you go.
Avocado's a fruit. We've been lied to, masterfully manipulated to believe something that isn't true.
Well, exactly. Even with the manipulation, even as an aside, it's like, okay, well, what makes me feel good? What makes me feel thriving? And that's where I was just like, okay, well, I'll eliminate the stuff that makes me feel like garbage. So one by one, and then I'd reintroduce it. You know what? Carnivore, I'm glad there's more of us out there because I ended up here. Like it's fun, I guess, but at the same time, like I'm like, okay, well, what else is there to eat? But I mean, the fatty ribeye, the fatty chuck steak is where I'm at right now.
We are live here at the 5 to 6 a.m. USA Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Kilt's Mighty Tribe and more, our brothers and sisters. Today we have Nicholas Roy, who for how many months now? 18?
No, not quite. It'd be about 14 now.
14 months. And who's healed tremendously on a carnivore lifestyle. And we have been taught that eating meat causes cancer and fat is bad and cholesterol is bad and the vegetables are good for you. Yeah. But I'm wondering if there's a profiteer at the pinnacle that's trying to keep us weak, meek, and diseased. And as a paramedic, you must see a tremendous number of people who are sick and adversely affected by the manipulation of a plant protein, low animal fat diet.
Oh, I would say the chronic disease is ripe. And I mean, I get to see the emergencies typically when they're calling at the end of their day or, I've had enough. So yeah, totally. And I mean, the diabetic retinopathy, or not even diabetic, any sort of opathy, really, the itises of life, I guess, put it that way, you do see it. I mean, I brought it up before in some of my feeds, like we're decent. I say we're excellent, but we're pretty good at the emergency stuff. You're having a broken leg. Here's some fentanyl. Here's where the plants come in handy. I'm not opposed to them in all of the ways because take the pain away temporarily, and then all of a sudden, okay, great, rehabilitation, give you some cast and move forward. We're good mechanics, but it seems like the metabolic side, and this is where I dove and I'm starting to dive in deep, is I just think on a cellular level, we have missed the mark on a grand scale in the North American diet and standard of care. And I'm not trying to face it head on, but I do think I'm like, hey, I think we might have gotten it wrong. Can we just question it? Can we just look at the literature, look at the N of 1 studies, and the N of 1s keep adding up? And I go, well, I think, yeah, like the plants, we've just eat too much endogenous glucose and we end up having too much insulin. And that's where the deep dive into metabolic health with the carnivore style is like, not to justify it, but to explain it to myself and other people and peers, to be like, look, the amount of, we don't eat this normally. Our ancestral diet, we never really did, in the last hour, I think someone said it in their last podcast or a few days ago, we started introducing grains.
We cannot live without plants.
Right.
But they're meant to make the oxygen that we thrive and survive on and feed our food in order to keep us healthy and well. But heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, where do they come from?
Plants.
Yeah. And alcohol, it's a fermentation by their buddies, the bacteria and yeast, in order to control those herbivores and omnivores, and especially control the human beings.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they don't want to control us, they definitely don't want to eat us to eat them. And I mean, as Dr. Chafee says, or his professor said before him, plants want to kill you. Well, if you take that as a conversation starter or ender, it's kind of fun sometimes, but also like, it's true because I mean, they don't have teeth, they don't have legs, they don't have body weight. So what do they create? Neurotoxins, anti-nutrients, lectins, the list goes on. So basically they're saying, hey, you can eat me, but I'm going to give you a stomach ache. And if you eat me long enough, I might create some sort of cellular dysfunction or cellular malfunctions. So I'm not opposed to just common sense and kind of not rewriting it, but I mean, on a teamwork effort to be like, hey, are we doing the right thing? Because, from the research I'm doing is, when was the last time an oppressed society was told that they have to eat meat? Or, I think it's only been the warrior class, the elite class that eat meat and the rest eat grains and slowly get diabetic and meek and mild. Essentially.
Well, I always say it's our cells that are the intelligence of the world. And and they're carrying out the true mission of the universe, God's work. And there is no organism, no cell, no molecule that is any less valuable than any other. And a plant has more DNA, been around for millions of years longer than we have. And so ultimately, they are the predator and we are the prey. They are actually controlling us to change their DNA, make them live in environments they've never lived before, GMO them every day, and more. That is, I think, the most amazing part of this crazy story.
It makes sense. I mean, plants want to survive. It's in the sense that, you know, birds want you to eat their seeds so they can carry them further and be planted somewhere else. I mean, and maybe that's our interpretation of what the plant wants. But hey, I mean, I'm open to common sense. And that's where it's like, you know, I've got my soapbox in the morning and I'm saying, hey, guys, have you thought about LDL and HDL? Have we got it wrong? You know, because it's true. We might, you know what I mean? Like we're targeting all these symptoms, but I'm like, okay, well, let's follow. And you know, don't go down the conspiracy hat cat theory, but follow the money, follow where the industry is, follow where the narrative is. And you're like, okay, well, maybe it's not for our best interest, but someone else's pocketbook. Not necessarily they're nefarious, but are they in it for themselves or someone else?
Well, I'd say the plants ultimately know how to control all other organisms.
Interesting.
And they've been around far longer than their DNA. I mean, we think somehow, I mean, would you really want to go on a rocket ship and go to Mars?
One day, maybe, but not right now. Definitely not.
And what is it, on your suicide mission?
Well, I mean, if it was a return flight, I mean, I don't know if we could.
And who's going to guarantee that one?
I mean,
Elon Musk?
I'm not putting my money on the first ride. Put it that way.
We're sending our saving of the world out to Mars or Jupiter or any other planet out there. But we're forgetting the work we're doing today through what you're doing.
Right.
Is helping humanity heal. And a shout out to Healing Humanity and the movie. So we gotta be supporting that. That's really what this is about. And it's here right now and on earth as it is in heaven. And if you haven't, what is it? The new book by Jordan Peterson, Struggle with God or Fight God. Someone will remind me of the name of it. I mean, the guy is a master of the mission and the story, but it's here now, not later. But for our children, we need to get back to pasture, grass, free range. Know your farmer, your rancher, and can you eat some plants?
Hey, from time to time, like I do, and I mean it's, but I feel it immediately. You know what I mean? And that's the reminder of it. And I go, okay, like if I want to eat ice cream, like you say, you eat Kiltz's ice cream. I have regular ice cream. I try to, you know, the Haagen-Dazs. It's like really the amount of sugar in it. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. Close your eyes and just eat it. Tastes great. And the next day, I'm just like, I do cane sugar ice cream, and it is a blast from time to time, and I feel fantastic because what does it have mostly in it? Fat. Yeah.
And the critical part to the story is they've removed the fat, and fat is the fittest thing to eat. And the critical part is that if you eat the fat of the lamb, which ultimately is the critical raw fat, not cooked fat, not rendered fat, and lean meat protein, poisonous. And this prioritizing protein is like dumb.
I'm with you on the feeling of protein, and especially just because of, again, I've eliminated foods to get here. So like, I'm not saying like it's, you know, just carnivore, but it really is the only thing that works for me. And the fat is the key. I've never felt better with good salty fat. I like the salt on it, but
salty fat is the fat. And I mean, the salt, our civilizations evolved around salt. Many animals looking for it, licking it.
Right. You're worth your weight in salt, right? At one point in life. Right.
Yeah. So we have a comment on Instagram, John, the batshit. Vegetables are the matrix. We are being eaten from the inside out by carrots, most specifically. And also those probiotics are trying to take you down. The bacteria, yeast, and viruses are also part of the trying to make you fertilizer, which is crazy.
We all will be fertilizer. And like you say before, you know, want to make the best fertilizer. Well, absolutely. You know what? And I want to make the best life I can right now. And if I have to eliminate the Doritos, the cookies, all the little sweet things, and I have a terrible way to say it. I'll say it on live here, but is it nutrition or is it mouth porn? Is it an excitement for the senses that's temporary, or is it something that's going to nourish the body, the meat sack? Is it going to make me better?
Well. See, I think in our evolution, we did consume plants, but short spurts of sweet fruit seasonally in order to and become hyperphagic in order to get fat for migration, hibernation, gestation, and nesting. And so it is true that small amount, I mean, I'll do some really extra double fried in duck grease, lard, or tallow French fries, no skin.
Sure.
And I dip it in either duck grease mayonnaise or sour cream with a lot of salt, because that from time to time is not the cause of the diseases.
Right.
It's the all the time.
Yeah, the frequency. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes down to, where I look at it I try to look at it from a metabolic point of view. And this is where this can get so exciting, because there's so much to learn. Because again, if I'm spiking my insulin, okay, great. Well, for how long? When does that start causing basically, quote unquote, the or not even the arteriosclerosis, basically, or the rusting of the inside of the lining of the arteries, sorry.
Well, okay, I'm gonna make one little. Insulin is never the cause of disease,
right?
Ever. Okay, this is interesting. So, what's the purpose of insulin?
To lower blood sugar as one, but it has many other. It's a hormone. No,
make fat in the liver.
Okay.
Make fat in the liver, and if you can't make fat, you're fertilizer. You're dead. This is a whole look at. Insulin's job is to make fat, and when you eat food from time to time, insulin goes up in order to convert amino acids and simple sugars to fat in the liver, and then send them everywhere in the form of VLDL.
Cool.
And so what if the job of the liver is to make fat, the job of insulin is to make fat, and what if the scientific story of ketosis is wrong? Wrong.
Well, go ahead.
Why are we addicted to sugar? Because God's instinct knows how to help us survive and thrive. But we are in a manipulated, false environment today. We've been put in the opium den,
right,
the alcohol pen, and it's okay. The American College of OBGYN suggests that a plant-based diet and alcohol are good for pregnant and lactating women. What OBGYN expert do you want to go to that recommends alcohol and a plant-based low-fat diet?
I mean, are they recommending B12 too? Because you need more supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're trying to supplement the snake oil diet. We've been recommending. Healthcare costs are on the rise. I interviewed Professor Thomas in Seyfried yesterday.
Oh, no way.
Amazing dude, brother. And ultimately, the story is simple.
Right.
We're eating an incorrect, manipulated diet by the Pope, priest, president, physicians. The ancient pharaohs knew how to control the masses by feeding them bread and beer.
Look, weak, meek, and mild, the grains, and I think the biggest thing I'm with that, and it's. I guess it's not necessarily what's the narrative, because it makes sense. If you're keeping people drunk, fed, entertained, I mean, we're back at the Roman times. Let's go. Like, why are we at the Colosseum cheering for, death to whoever? It's a distraction.
Well, we're afraid of the fight.
Right. Well, put yourself on carnivore, you're not really afraid of the fight anymore, which is kind of strange.
Well, that's it. So controlling humans to make them slaves, soldiers, peasants, and prisoners, the serfs. You feed them plant-based diet, beer, low fat, very little meat, and they become highly, highly controllable. Domesticated animals like wolves and lions that are fed plants become dogs and cats. Woof, woof.
And then you get animal, and then you get human diseases in animals. Why? Because we feed them a species inappropriate diet. Like, it's not rocket science. And then you eliminate those in the body. And again, what I'm marveled about carnivore, it's not necessarily the carnivore or the fat or the meat. Time out for a second. It's not that heals you. It lets the body heal itself, right? And that's what I'm learning from you and other doctors and Dr. Seafried or Professor Seafried. It's like, if we don't feed the cancer or the tumor the amount of glucose and glycogen, and we're targeting the glycogen with DOM, then okay, so if we're in a state of ketosis, then the cancer, the tumor, doesn't have the fuel to proliferate or even survive.
Well, I'm going to throw in a little hook there.
Go for it.
It's the plant antigens and toxins that are leading cause of disease, and the fact that we're allergic to their glycocalyx. I will bet it's not just glucose. It's glucose, fucose, mannose, N-acetylglucosamine, sialic acid, and all the other glycans of plants and microbes that are different and highly antigenic. Plus, they contain small amounts of heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, and that is really in glycation. So it's and the lack of fat. So I don't know if you ever have noticed butter like almost never molds.
I have, yes.
So what do we tell people not to eat?
Butter.
Fat and butter. Okay, and so fat and butter, raw butter and raw fat kills the microbes.
Good luck getting that in Canada. I mean, one day maybe. We used to have it.
It's in Canada, it's in Mexico, it's all over the globe in America. Our job is to share and wake us all up.
Well,
that's what we're here to do.
It's 5 a.m. Let's go.
That's what we're doing. So I mean, two of my favorite movies, the Vikings and Game of Thrones.
Nice.
Like that is it. Where do you live?
I live in Nova Scotia, Kentville.
Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Yeah. You must get some. Well, how's the beef up there and the fish?
To be honest, I get most of my beef from Costco, so it's not nothing fancy. But there is local. I could go local. I haven't gotten there yet. But the fish is always fresh. The lobster is probably some of the next best thing in the world. I mean, it's close to Boston. I mean, it's one of our biggest exports. So, yeah, I'm not going to talk about the trade wars going on now.
Okay, so beef.
Yeah.
Is somehow Costco beef bad for us?
I don't think so. It's Canadian raised beef. I mean, it's not the local beef that everyone, grass fed, grass finished. I mean, look, I'm getting what I can afford, what I can get. Got to feed a family, got to survive, got to thrive.
Well, I would say that there's amazing meat at Costco. Yeah. And amazing. Look at our local low cost boxes is still a place that many people are going. Our movement is to go locally, know your farmer, know where your food's coming from. But I think that Costco beef, and Lewis L. comments, thank God for Costco beef and Kerrygold. I love Butter Boy from Wegmans. It's from France. And another great one. Sarah Spacklin on KMT, Kilt's Mighty Tribe. And by the way, everyone is free to join Kilt's Mighty Tribe. There are some add-ons, there's some books, there's some, and there's also some courses on carnivore, but it's all for free. But Sarah Spacklin, Egyptian grains wore down the people's teeth.
That was my next point, is cavities. Exactly that. Grains and cavities. I'm like, I have strange little things of carnivore. I brush my teeth and I'm like, wow, I almost don't feel like I have like furry teeth. When you have grains, you have furry teeth in the morning. And I'm like, I don't have that anymore, and it's like, well, then you start thinking, I'm like, well, if I'm not eating grains, I'm not getting the sugars rotting my teeth, and I'm only having fat and protein. Again, just take notes, like, what's different,
Well, I don't even like to use the word protein. I think it's a fallacy. You eat animal cells or you eat plant cells.
Great. I love that.
That's what we eat.
Yeah.
Because if you can show me a protein,
Right.
You cannot. You can show me muscle meat, organ meats, bone, brains, skin, right? You can show me leaves, roots, fruits, stems, all those things. This idea of protein is actually a fallacy.
Cool.
Because a bear hibernates, and this is where we need to, I think, get some really, really, really good stuff to show people the simplicity of this. When a bear hibernates, first they're hyperphagic in the late summer, fall, and then they get pregnant, hibernate 6 months. They gestate 1 to 4 baby bears. They lose no muscle mass, no bone mass. They lose only adipose tissue. So what's the purpose of fat adipose tissue?
Fuel.
It's the building block for every cell of our body.
Right.
Building block. So it's got the materials that provide the building blocks for every molecular structure, and it provides acetyl-CoA, which is basically makes ATP, CO2, and H2O. So the simplicity of the story, I think, is the part we need to get to. And nobody's eating raw animal of fat and muscle meat in general, which is what I prioritize.
I think they're still afraid of the parasites. I mean, we've been saying, and I'm not in this.
Parasites are in the plants.
Well, they are too. Yeah.
They're in the plants. Like muscle meat, again, there's no parasites in the muscle meat. None.
Unless it's contaminated. You're
right, but that's extremely rare and remote.
Right.
Our food industry is amazing.
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
No. Go ahead. Nicholas, I really appreciate you being here and sharing your ideas and story. It's critical that we all have the conversation, and we're learning together. How many people in your professional groups are like looking at you like, "Hey, what are you doing? How do I do that?"
Oh, there's a good handful. I mean, there's a few outliers. I mean, there's I don't know. You call them future fans or people that are confused or upset. And I'm like, cool, let's come over. Let's talk about it. I'm not upset about it. And like I said, I come back to this humble place of I have eliminated foods to get here, and foods or feel things that make me feel. If it was environmental, I would have done that too. But I mean, I could barely run. I was, overweight. I was 210 pounds on a 5'9" frame. So it was just too much. So again, yes, there's back to colleagues. I have quite a few friends coming over, like maybe 5 that I'm talking to on a weekly basis and saying, "Hey man, how are you doing? Hey, what are you doing now?" And they're like, "Well, this is really tough, but I'm getting through it." And we just kind of help each other out. And
Dr. Fields, can I just jump in real quick?
Yeah.
I decided to give away a ticket to Texas Day Brazil. So if you want a ticket to Texas Day Brazil, put #kilts.
Let's #kilts. And we got Kilts cups, and we got our books we're going to be sharing. And sharing is caring. And the most important part here is you're listening to something very crazy. And Nicholas Roy is a crazy man. He went carnivore a number of months ago. 38 years young, an amazing paramedic helping people in their dire times, and it is radical. I'm telling you, don't do carnivore.
Right? Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Even the reverse psychology might not work, right?
Oh, it all works. There was a question here. Where's a question by Kathleen Lamb? You want to read it, Alia?
Yeah. Did you say raw butter kills microbes in the gut? Are you saying that's good? Does it kill bad microbes or good microbes?
Which one's good? Which one's bad? What day of the week? I'm telling you, it's all a lie to sell you probiotics. Microbes are there to kill you, control you, and take you down. And so bacteria, yeast, and viruses, would you inject them in your blood vessels or in your muscle tissue? No, you would not. And they are deadly for us. They're everywhere. But our body is constantly working to hold them back, not say, "Oh yeah, come on in, guys." Like really? Nah, it's bad. And butter is best. But eat the fat. That's critical to do. I've got a comment. Tina Minio is 38 today. Happy birthday as a carnivore, loving it and seeing exciting changes. my why, to get my temple in order by achieving my healthy weight and ridding my body of poison. Let's see, and ridding my body of poison from 53 years of incorrect diet. Thanks, Doc, for educating us. This is life. And another one, hold up the book again. Oh, Lisa, this is the book called Why Vegans Have Smaller Brains. We want our vegan brothers and sisters to build their proper brain, and by learning the proper human diet, Canberry, we're going carnivore and we're limiting the brains. This is radical. Let's see. I've been fasting and every Monday for months. For the past 4 weeks, I've been eating carnivore once a day, Tuesday to Thursday. But come the weekend, I just need all the things: bread, pasta, sushi, candy, chocolate, apples, cinnamon buns, cakes, fries, and chips. Funnily, no healthy veggies or nuts with my meat and butter. So what's up with that? Okay. So you use the language, I just need all these things. That is the lie. You don't need but faith in God, fresh air, and fatty meat. And that's all you need. Oh, and your brothers and sisters to hang out with, like on Kilt's Mighty Tribe in the morning. But the word is the way. He who wrestles, we who wrestle with God. That's it. Go ahead, Nicholas.
No, that was it. No, I'm not jumping in. It is a community, because again, we're all working together on this, and it's nice to feel like at least you're part of something, or at least it's radical and changing. It's like, okay, well, where do we start? Where do we go? And if it's at 5 a.m., then here we are.
Well, up early every day. I get up early, make my bed, do my push-ups, get live. I do my 30 to 60 minutes of walking, and I do my weights every single day. But what's the heaviest thing we really carry around?
Probably our resentment and fears.
Yeah, resentment. What are those kettlebells? So you got those right there. Your kettlebells?
Oh yeah. I got my kettlebells. I'm at my office, so I use the same thing. Just lift up small weights every day, push-ups.
And how many meals a day do you eat, Nicholas?
Typically 1 to 2. Sometimes I'm on I do a 24-hour fast, then a 36-hour fast, and kind of get the body kind of surprised and go from there.
Well, did you likely eat 3 to 6 meals a day 50,000 years ago?
No, geez, no.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, in Nova Scotia, if there's nobody else fishing, hunting, or grocery store production, how easy is it to go out and find food right now?
I mean, if you're a keen hunter, if you're a fisherman, probably pretty easy. But I mean, if you're looking for deer, moose, you have to go hunting for it.
There's no fishing poles.
Yeah.
There's none of that stuff, right? There's no fishing boats, right? I mean, look at the Inuits.
Yeah.
Right? They were the masters, but were there massive Inuits?
Can't imagine. I don't know what the population was. I have no idea. But look,
but not
I believe they would have fed, they would have feasted and fasted. That's how I feel best personally. So I don't think I'm going to fight evolution on that one. But again, whether it's the ketones or just fat adapted, I've never felt more clear-headed and more energetic and wake up with energy and clear head than I ever have. So like it's that alone.
Okay, so when you eat plants, how do you feel?
I feel lethargic and swollen.
So it's actually, they're poisonous.
Right.
So it's not the ketones, it's the lack of the poisons. Right? That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the ketones. Ketones always exist in the bloodstream. Fat is always the fuel for the Ferrari. We're not fat adapted. We don't change. We are only fat burners. If you have no fat in your body, you're fucking beep, fertilizer. And so we're highly addicted to plant sugars and chemicals because they're there in the fall, the late winter, the springtime, late spring, right? In order to eat the fruits, that in order to
fatten up.
Well, fatten up, but also to spread their seeds.
Right. No, it makes sense. I mean, from an evolutionary point of view, it's an evolutionary arms race between the herbivores and the plants.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Kill Spiny Tribe. Tell us about what is your why. What is it inspires you every day? And your comments are critical. Again, we want to see these platforms grow because in order to heal our brothers and sisters, we need to share the word in the way. And I'm not looking, we're not looking for millions of dollars. We're looking for millions of brothers and sisters, billions to heal in this world. I talked to a young lady from India yesterday, 43, working to have a baby, and it hasn't been happening for 5 years. And ultimately, plant-based, low animal fat diet, and not knowing the why, eczema, psoriasis, bowel problems, everything. And it's, remember, plants are the predators and poisonous. Nicholas, do you know anyone that's allergic to ribeye steak?
I would say if they got bit by a Lone Star tick, I know one person that is.
Well, then they're not allergic to the meat.
Well, they're allergic to the protein inside. Yeah.
They're allergic to the Lone Star tick, not the protein.
Oh, look. So,
it's the tick antigen, which is a sugar. That's the craziness. Again, have you ever heard of the glycobiome?
Only from you.
Glycobiome. It's the master key of life. It is the controlling factor. Billions of different sugar molecules coat everything, and they're the antigenic molecule. And glycobiology is the secret to the vaccines and all of the cancer treatments and all the new drugs that are controlled by the pharmaceuticals, nutritionalists, the science, and all these other things. But yeah, nobody knows about it, right?
I'm learning, and this is the fascinating part about diving into metabolic health and personal health, and here we are. So, yeah, and to come back to the Mighty Tribe part is there's no way I would have done this on a plant-based diet. I mean, this interview, there's just no way. My stress levels would have been too high, and I look at it now and I'm like, this is beyond just me, because I've got my dad, and I'm going to bring it back to me for a second. My dad's got melanoma. He's going through it. And to me, it's a canary in the coal mine for whatever else is going on in his body. It's a small little bit on the outside. Yeah, it's curable. Scoop it out. That's it. But I'm like, this is bigger than me. And if I can help my dad reverse his type 2 diabetes, his weight loss, give him some weight loss and also metabolically healthy, I'm like, okay, well, he's one. And now I'm on like my own social media, on my little soapbox and saying, hey guys, but it's also for me, but for everyone else. I can't be selfish in knowing that, hey, I'm feeling amazing. There's other people out there, my friends, family, and people I've never met yet.
Okay, so I want to. Fat, obesity is not the cause of any disease.
Right.
Weight loss, no animal is striving to lose weight. They've spent a lot of time, energy to get that fat. And so I think we have to eliminate the concept of weight loss altogether. We need to focus. Remember, it's faith, fat, and fasting. Eat raw fat in order to be the healthiest thing you could ever be. And cancer is caused by protein, a lean meat, plant-based diet, and 3 to 6 meals a day. And that is it. Georgette, 80, 44 years young, been given so many different advice about how many times a day I should eat. Is there a right answer? There is. If you're working to get really fat in order to survive fasting, a migration, hibernation, nesting, or a famine, you better eat up. But in general, because we have easy access to food in general, one time a day or once every other day, potentially. Now, this crazy concepts and ideas that are sort of even turning this keto carnivore world upside down. But hepatogenous diabetes, ever heard of it?
Tell me more.
Well, basically, as the liver is damaged more and more, it cannot convert glucose and amino acids to fat fast enough. So glucose and amino acid levels begin to rise, which causes more glycative damage, right? More sugars build up. Insulin levels go up, but why do insulin goes up? In order to convert the amino acids and sugars to fat. So eventually the liver is almost dead. Cirrhosis. Every cirrhotic has an elevated amino acid, sugar levels, and insulin levels, but they're skinny. They have no fat in their body. And the no fat basically is deadly for humans.
It's like type 1 diabetics then.
It is essentially a type 1 picture.
Right.
And so this idea is, oh, it's so complicated. It's not. Fat is never the cause of disease. Obesity is never the cause of disease. You're built to get fat in order to survive in a cave for 3 to 6 months.
Makes sense. I mean, it makes total sense. I mean, look at any other animal on the planet. We think we're different.
we're like the same.
Yeah.
Brenda Weldon, you want to read that, Alia?
Yes, I'm coming. My why, whole food, plant-based, almost killed me. I did it listening to the doctors and the lies. Dropped to 113 pounds at 5'8". That's not a good look. Yeah.
But add more fat and bacon, eggs, butter, beef, Kiltz's Babies diet. We sell books on Amazon. If you know anyone suffering from fertility issues, men and women, feed them the fatty meat. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, plant-caused ovarian sickness is really radical. How about your children, Nicholas?
Yeah. My kids, well, they're healthy as far as I know. I mean, they're running around, going back and forth. There's no health issues that I know of. I just got to keep up to them, but they're not eating the same as I am. I mean, they will eat a pound of bacon with me on a Saturday morning, no problem. But they are more the North American diet. They're addicted to the sugars, the plants, basically. Yeah, but they're open to it. My daughter eats a lot of eggs. Well, I say a lot. She eats, moderate amount. But my son, he's more curious. He's more like, well, I'm good with my chicken nuggets, Dad. You tell me what you need.
well, which is basically a drug addict diet.
Oh,
because we're feeding our children the diet that ultimately leads to the diseases, and it's likely that many of these things set up in early and younger, and I think we need to be responsibly changing the food in the family in order to recognize that we are raising lionesses and lions. We are not raising sheep. We want to remove the shackles of domestication, slavery from all of our brothers and sisters and our children. The family is the foundation, the focus. That is really why we're here, wouldn't you say?
Oh, look, it's definitely a huge part. I mean, I look at my kids and I'm like, how can well, obviously I want them to thrive and survive, outlive me, be stronger, teach me something, but I want them to be as healthy as I can. But I don't want them to, I don't want to say you only have to eat this, then they're going to do the complete opposite and just become, hyper drug addicts in one day. So it's like, okay, well, let's just moderate to a certain degree, try to educate you, give you an opportunity to choose, use your brain. And then eventually, hopefully they make the right decisions when they're older. Because
be the example. So what you're saying is be the example.
100%. Live it. Walk it.
Yeah. I love it.
Monkey see, monkey do. They're a lot more, receptive to watching Dad do something. Like I'm doing my push-ups every day, and I've got my 4-year-old. He's doing push-ups now. So I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, Dad, I'll eat meat one day. I'm like, cool, man. You eat meat when you're ready.
Or son, you're a lion.
Yeah.
Lions eat meat. They don't eat fake shit.
Yeah.
And that's our, the lion goes out hunting and brings back the food. And maybe that's the part we need to be recognizing. My sister died at 52 of diabetes. My best friend died. One died of glioblastoma at 25. The other died at 52 of lymphoma. So I believe our real issue here is we must focus on the truth. And the truth is simple. We are lions, not sheep. And our brothers and sisters, our children, are learning from the mothers and the fathers. Right? We are that leader. And if we're like, hey, you're you know, I mean, are children really capable yet of making those decisions?
No, but we provide them the opportunity to, hopefully, it's like having a garden. You know, if you fertilize the garden, hopefully something good grows out of it. Well,
we're the hunters. We're the providers.
Yeah.
We provide shelter, food, clothing, love, love first. And that's what I think our biggest, maybe this is part of the things we need to all learn to do. Son, you want the plants, you got to go get them. I brought home meat, bacon, eggs, butter, beef. This is what I brought home. If you want to be with the sheep, here, this is a good conversation. Listen, there's no judgment here, because I provide my daughter who's pregnant, delivering in 2 weeks. I send them fatty meat. I provide that. I never buy them anything else. Now they then go out and do their own grass and grains or whatever they want to do. But my job is to be the example and provide them with the only thing I would say is what we should be consuming.
And I appreciate that. I take no offense to that at all. I need the reminder, and I appreciate that, because it's hard, because it's a unit. We're, between my wife and I, and it's like, okay, well, do we feed them this? And I'm not putting it all on her, but she's, I'm the lone sheep in Kentville. Like, I don't know, I don't know many people in Nova Scotia on this journey. And I'm like, well, it's okay. If I'm a lion by myself, I'm with you here. I know I'm okay with it. I'll start somewhere.
But I bet what you're doing, other people are listening. And
or throwing rocks, a bit of both, but they're listening.
No. If they're throwing rocks, they're listening.
Yeah.
Remember, no matter if they're saying yes, no, or maybe, or not saying anything, they're still there, because the word is vibrating in the universe. Our job, like our carnivore coach Lisa, is our job is to be the leader of the family and the life. And maybe we need to inspire more people like yourself, who has a young family. And I mean, my daughter's on her journey, and we are all here to be the examples, and the simplicity of it. And maybe, is what toxins are in beef.
I haven't found one yet. So
and this Lone Star bug, they're trying to scare you.
Hey,
oh my God, right?
No, that's, if they're trying, keep going. I got some work to do.
Keep going. Any other questions? What's the hashtag today, and what's the prize?
Okay, so the hashtag is hashtag kilts. Put that in the chat. We got 118 people watching. Put that in the chat, and you can win a ticket to Texas State Brazil tomorrow. But if you're farther away, and you can't make it, I'll send you a kilts cup.
Yeah, all right. Craig Faulkner, hashtag Alia. My go-to meal is scrambled eggs with extra egg yolks, crispy pork belly, bavette steak cooked in goose fat, and butter and sour cream. I love it. Love it. And Lisa, Coach Lisa, Carnivore Coach Lisa, I love Nova Scotia. I brought down the green Victoria Station. Oh, Lisa, she's a dynamite star. What do you call she brings stuff down.
Ground level. Do you mind if I put a little bit of unsolicited post there?
Oh, please. Oh,
right on. So I've got a small brand myself that I'm building, because again, I started eating animal fat about 13, 14 months ago, and I'm like, what can I do with this? Is there a byproduct? So I made some tallow, some skincare cream.
What's the hashtag?
Well, it's Maritime Tallow Skincare Co.
Cool.
And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, but my handle, if you want to get a hold of me.
Do you make it?
I do, yeah. I render it myself, and I add a couple essential oils and some Manuka honey. So just basically 3 ingredients. Keep it simple.
What about no honey and no? What about do you have a raw version? Not yet.
I do, sure. I just haven't put into a can.
I think the raw version would be great also.
Sure, why
not? Because I think this is the interesting part, because we're allergic to these things, but the allergic outcome may not show up for years.
Interesting. Even the essential oils, you think?
All of them. There's no such thing as an essential oil.
Well, I mean,
right?
It's surrendered down to the plant.
But the fat, I mean, look we enjoy them, and I think using them, they're medicinal more than likely. But I think having a raw version will be really cool also.
Sure
because
I'll call it the kilts.
Kilts. Oh yeah. I love it. We'll white label it. Love it.
Works for me.
What are you drinking?
Great.
I'm drinking the German Gerolstein water.
Yeah.
Yummy.
It's probably like I went into a water kick because I kicked, any alcohols and drinks and sugary things, and it ended up here. So one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, raw. That's it. Really great group today. I appreciate it. Don't forget that old guy carnivore Mitch. I think he's on at 9:30. It's coffee with old guy carnivore, and but I've got my very famous coffee cup with water from my good friend Aliyah. Where do you live?
I live in Colombia. I'm from Chicago. I always say that.
I'm from planet Earth. I've decided to forego Mars. If Elon and anyone else wants to go there, go at it. But I'm staying right here on the ground. And I'm going to have my bacon, eggs, butter, beef, Kiltz's ice cream from time to time. And yes, sometimes some French fries.
Love it.
Sometimes some French fries. I just want to say, Nicholas, can you give your handle again?
Yeah, it's Maritime Tallow Skincare.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maritime Tallow Skincare. Okay, last call for #kilts. Put that in the chat to win a ticket to Texas de Brazil or Kilts Cup. I'm about to do the thing. Oh,
we also got all Kilts' books on Amazon, by the way. Daily Inspiration.
How do I get my name in there, Leah?
You put #kilts. Just type it in the chat. Like
we got to get Roy there
right now in StreamYard. You can put #kilts.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. The most important thing in life is to learn how to give out love and to let it come in. Nicholas, what's your handle for your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram?
My handle is onenicholas.roy.
Could you type it in?
Yeah, but Nicholas, you need to type it in where it says comments, not private chat.
Oh, geez. I don't even know how. I think I'm still in the comments. How to even get out of here. Oh, hang on.
If click on the thing that says comments.
Right on.
Yeah, it's up top right.
I'm usually pretty literate to this stuff. Connect here.
I'm way not.
Up. We lost him.
Oh, no.
There you go.
We're back? I'll forget.
You're back.
Oh, good. We'll hashtag later.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
I moved I'm kind of playing with studio down here in Sarasota. We're Healing Humanity. Don't forget Healing Humanity and Kilt's Mighty Tribe and Ancestral Nutritional Solutions. But I'm thinking it's Ancestral Lifestyle Solutions. Maybe I keep on changing it. Maybe I have a million different ideas. But you're in the healthcare world. I heard you're talking about re-inspiring and growing. Where are you moving? What's your thoughts?
I would ideally, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I mean, I would love to control my day, talk about being a lion. I would love to wake up and choose where I want to go, where I want to fly, who I want to speak to. That is the goal. So enough money to be able to have that freedom. But right now, if I can work for the Coast Guard, that would be great. If I could work for some sort of stability for the family, so I can keep providing, be the lion out of that. But for now, it's transitioning out of the chaos and disorder of emergency medicine, which is lovely and we all need it. But it's time to get more stable, more focused, family oriented, and move forward.
Oh, you're amazing. So what if instability was actually the better way to live life?
Hey, that would be the entrepreneurial life, because
it is. Yeah, you must risk. So Think and Grow Rich, the Power of Positive Thinking. Jack Canfield's book of the mastery of what is it? Success. Success principles, and ultimately, all of this stuff that you're sharing is so amazing. I got fired from a job at 41, had no money, nada, and I started CNY Fertility, and then I got chastised and sued and put down, and all sorts of medical, physical, financial problems. But without them, you're just watching TV.
Right. Exactly. Challenge.
That's right.
Challenge. That's what you're doing. You're talking about. Absolutely. What's your favorite book?
I mean, right now, The Alchemist. I think it sums it all up. But it's something I've read over and over. It's the power of winners lose more than losers because they don't give up. You know, it's the keep going. It's the don't stop. One of my best friends, he taught me a Japanese word, kaizen, and it means constant improvement every day. You know, even small bits add up to mountains in the end, and that's where the goal is the mountain. I will get there step by step. I'm not in a rush, but it's.
I am the mountain.
Hey.
I am the mountain.
Love it.
Well, read the book, The Three Magic Words, my favorite books in life. The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, read all of his books. Think and Grow Rich, The Three Magic Words, and Man's Search for Meaning. And if you haven't listened to The Alchemist, you must. It's a must listen to. Jeremy Irons reads it. I mean, Paulo Coelho is a masterful Catholic.
No way. I didn't know he's Catholic. Cool.
Yeah. And Jordan Peterson, Tammy Peterson are, you know, we're sharing the faith in God.
Right.
And
who is carnivore way too, which is great.
It's the Lions way. All right. Let's do the we're probably overboard here, but
we are overboard. All right. Let's see here. Oh, I know what to do. We're about to do it.
Did Nicholas type in his handle?
He didn't, but we're gonna get Nicholas a gift. We will get him a gift.
We'll trade. We'll trade some.
Steven Stone. Woo!
Hey.
Nice.
Please email me, alia@drkilts.com to redeem your gift. There you go.
All right. And one, what is it, Nicholas? One
Nicholas, Nicolas .Roy.
Nicolas.
Yeah, Nicolas, French, my first language.
All right. What's the rest?
Roy, R-O-Y.
Nicholas Roy.
Yeah, one Nicholas Roy. Should be my Instagram handle and my Facebook. So I hope it is. I don't text myself enough, I guess. and if not, Maritime Tallow Skincare. You can find me there.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you, both of you. You know what? Like, again, this is bigger than my ego. It's amazing to even be talking to you, honestly. Like, you're a celebrity out there and leading the way and a pioneer. You both are, Lee, as well. And I appreciate the time to be able to share this from little old Nova Scotia. Not little old, but here we are. And, you know, like, yeah, let's start spreading this globally. We are on a mission to make people metabolically healthy and lions again.
Minimize the plants, maximize the fatty meat.
Profits.
Yeah, that is really the simplicity of it. Thank you, everyone. We see you guys.
Bye.
Well, I'm not even sure Sunday because I'm traveling Sunday. I'm in Mexico Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So
I will host. I can't do Monday because I'm also traveling back home, but I will host Tuesday, Wednesday. I hope you guys don't mind. Dr. Kiltz is traveling. I'm going to be the host.
Maybe we can get, I can get, we got to get Nelson.
Oh yeah. Dr. Nelson's going to help me. That's what he said. He's going to help me Monday, Tuesday. There we go. All
right. You end the stream. I'm going to end the KMT.
Right on.
And the